Hey guys, I'm Whitney.
And I'm Caitlin. Welcome to Culture Makers. Today, on this episode, we are talking about how to have healthy online relationships.
Yeah, and we're also talking Black Panther.
And the new TikTok trend, crying on Maine.
Let's go. Today's big question, you guys, we are talking about healthy relationships online. So how can we do that, Caitlin?
Yeah, I think that's a really important question. Over the past several episodes, we have been talking about what it looks like to really love people. And a lot of that has applied to in-person relationships.
Yeah.
But that gets a little bit more complicated when it comes to online relationships. So I'm so grateful that our students are asking these kind of questions because, man, it shows that they really care.
For sure, because you could be telling me something in person, but I can see your facial expressions and I can really tell how you're feeling.
Right.
But when you're online, if somebody's saying something, I can take it as they're being mean or catty when really they're hurting and they're sad. And so that helps me know how to respond to them and respond to them in the best way.
Right. Thing number one, when it comes to choosing to love people when we are interacting with them online, is being slow to speak / respond, slow to get angry, and quick to forgive.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, like you just hit on, when we are interacting online, most of the time, we are only getting 20% of what communication really is.
That's crazy.
Because the words that we're reading are literally just 20%. Research has proven that 80% of all communication is the nonverbals.
Wow.
It's the facial expressions we make. It's the tone of voice that we have. It's the way that I look at you and the way that you can read my face. And that's 80% of all communication. So let's be people who don't jump to conclusions based on just 20%.
Come on!
What some people I've noticed are doing now online is they're using it as a platform to be able to like air their personal grievances, their emotions, what they're feeling in that moment. How can we handle that? What's the best way to do that online?
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing about doing that is it's not actually how Jesus teaches us to deal with conflict.
Yeah.
So when we are dealing with conflict, it can feel really easy, and honestly, it can feel good to put someone else on blast or to try and cancel them when they hurt us.
Yeah.
But what Jesus calls us to do, and as people who are his followers, what we are invited to do is actually go to people directly and solve problems quickly. Actually, what the Bible tells us is that we're to be people who don't repay evil for evil, but we repay evil with good. And that is so countercultural that it actually has the ability to change things.
Yeah, like when you put somebody on blast, what do you honestly gain from that?
Right.
You may get a self-satisfaction for just a minute, but then you might feel the guilty conscience or reap whatever repercussions that might bring you on doing that. But if you handle it in a mature way or spread love instead of hate, it's just going to make not only yourself look better, but it's going to make the whole situation turn out a lot better.
Yeah, because love is not using people or platforms to get what we want. It's actually choosing to sacrifice ourselves for the good of somebody else. When it comes to loving people well in online relationships, let's be people who are slow to speak, slow to get angry, and quick to forgive. And let's be people who don't use social platforms as the space to air our personal grievances. Let's solve those problems in person.
I love it. Also, our third point is care about what you share. Scripture challenges us to love others the way we love ourselves. And even in Leviticus, it says, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. So it's so true. Right there in black and white.
I think about this point makes me think about when I am scrolling past something on social media, on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever, and it just like makes me happy. Yeah. Like, or someone sends me a super encouraging message and it makes my day. Like, man, this is how I want to be loved and cared for when it comes to interacting with people online. I want to see this kind of content, or I want to receive these kind of encouraging messages. And I think that's exactly what it would look like to apply that verse to this context. Like, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, if I really love it when I receive this kind of message, there's a chance that that you'll probably really appreciate that too.
Well, for sure. Because you don't know what I'm going through in my daily life. Like right here, you're like, oh, she looks like she's got everything together. But inside, I could be really battling some things. So if there's a moment where you find that, oh, somebody's doing a great job with something, or I loved your energy today, or you were the first person to answer, you're doing great. Like I appreciate everything you give in class or whatever it may be. Make sure you voice that and give them the positive affirmations that they may need, because we never know what somebody is battling behind the scenes.
Right.
And so having that positivity and push and just affirmation that they're doing a great job may actually pull somebody out of whatever they may be battling at that moment.
Something that our pastor says all the time is, if you think something good, say it.
Absolutely.
And I think that applies to the online space as well. So, Whitney, when it comes to loving people well in the online context, what we want to do is we want to be people who are slow to speak, slow to get angry, and quick to forgive. We don't want to jump to conclusions based on only 20% of the picture. We also want to be people who don't use social platforms as the space to air about our personal grievances. We want to go directly to people and solve problems in person when at all possible. And last but not least, we want to actually care about what we share. We want to be people who are encouraging and the light of the world, even in the space that is social media.
Love it. That's great. I know you've all been waiting. Black Panther's here. You saw
it? It came out this past weekend, and y'all, some data for you, because, you know, I'm going to geek out about that stuff.
Yeah, she is.
This movie holds the record for the biggest opener ever in the month of November. And it is the second highest opener in 2022 out of all movies. Bet y'all can't guess what the highest opener was.
I thought I guessed, and I was completely wrong.
You guessed Batman,
I thought it was Batman.
Yeah. So the truth is, it's actually Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which was trash, because the first Doctor Strange is amazing.
Right.
So I had high expectations. It got dashed. But speaking of expectations, when I went and saw Black Panther, I went with 3 of my friends, and I had everybody give a numerical ranking.
Of course you did.
of like how good they thought the movie was going to be based on all other Marvel movies of all time. Scale 1 to 10. So 1 is like the worst Marvel movie that you've ever seen. Captain Marvel. Your face.
Okay. Like, when I go to movies, I'm just like, how much butter can I put on this popcorn?
Stop. Ew.
Like, can I have a cup for some extra butter?
No. My 10 is like Endgame.
Okay.
Based on that scale, I guessed that Wakanda Forever would be at a 5. I was pleasantly surprised that it exceeded my expectations significantly. It was a fantastic movie. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. They do a great job of honoring Chadwick Boseman. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go ahead and drop what your prediction. Play my game with me. Drop your prediction of how good you think the movie's gonna be in the comments below. And then you can follow back up and tell us what your actual rating / opinion of the movie was. And we'll see if we're on the same page, because it's a great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Rihanna, she has her song, Born Again.
Yeah.
Her second single as of late debuted on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Both of the songs that she's released recently are like more ballady and emotional, like hit you in the feels. So I like it. It was perfect for where it was in the movie.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys know Twihard right here.
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner. Jacob from Twilight, you guys know. He and Taylor Dome, I believe is her last name, are married. He got married.
Yeah, he got married.
Taylor married Taylor, and it's not Swift.
How? Okay, I was actually talking to a friend yesterday, and they were like at a wedding where 2 people with the same name married each other, and we were just like, how weird would that be to be like sitting across, do you, Taylor, take you, Taylor, to be your lawfully wedded Taylor. Like, there's just so much. It would be confusing for me. So I'm not planning on marrying someone named Caitlin. I've never met a dude with that name.
Happy for them.
Happy for them. Absolutely. So stoked they got married. Actually, creds belong to Taylor Lautner's little sister.
Isn't that cool?
One day calls him up and is like, dude, I met your future wife. And then they actually got married.
I mean.
So like, That is impressive. Maddie, can you hear me?
Is that her name?
My sister? That's my sister.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Taylor's sister. You need her to find...
My sister. I'm just going to need you to call me and let me know when you met my future husband.
Okay, crying on Maine. I cannot get into this.
Cannot get into it. These videos are breakup videos where people are literally, as soon as they break up, like getting on TikTok and just like airing / processing all of their emotions about the breakup. This hashtag breakup actually has 24 billion views.
Billion.
On TikTok right now.
Insane.
So it's trending, and what I want to be careful to do is not shame people who have experienced difficult emotions and not known where to take them.
Right.
I think what this trend shows us more than anything else is that people are longing for connection. They are longing for trusted relationships where they can process their emotions. And so if this is you and you have gone through something difficult, maybe it's a breakup or even a broken friendship, or your parents are going through a divorce and you need a space to process your emotions and how you're feeling, what we want you to know is that you're not alone. Right. Obviously, there's a lot of people going through hard stuff.
Right.
And B, there are trusted people that you can go to and talk about that stuff with in person. And if you need help getting connected to a trusted relationship, we want to help. So go ahead and drop it in the comments below. We will pray for you, we will support you, and we will continue to try and help you get connected to people who really care and want to support you in the things that you walk through.
Life is hard, but no one said you had to do it alone.
Come on.
Come on, somebody.
That's actually a perfect segue to our challenge for the week, which is which one of those 3 things that we talked about in the beginning when it comes to online relationships do you need to focus on? Is it being someone who doesn't jump to conclusions so fast? That might be mine.
Man, back in those AOL chat room days, it was bad.
But I'm learning to be someone who asks questions instead of jumps to conclusions.
That's good.
So that would probably be mine. If that's yours, welcome to the club. We'll work on it together. You might be someone who needs to find another space to process how you're feeling. Or someone who maybe you have been hurt, and instead of going to the internet, you need to go to the person. We challenge you to do that this week because, man, that's when healing happens.
Going to that person in a loving way.
Come on.
Don't come after them wanting to fight them.
Don't do that.
Love.
Or your one might be caring about what you share. And something that Whitney and I talked about is if you think something good, say it. So maybe this week that looks like sending an encouraging message to someone. And Whitney, you actually had a really cool story about something that we might try to do when it comes to people who we kind of see as bullies.
Yeah. So backstory, my son was pushed off a recess, slides that is on the playground, and wasn't meaning to be bullied, but the kid was kind of a bully to him. But I encouraged my son to maybe find something special about that boy, because he's probably hurting in that moment, or he had a lot of emotions going on. Find something within them that is positive. Maybe they're great in class, or they always have a good attitude, or they have some really cool shoes. Let's compliment them and give them positive affirmation, and being able to see these bullies in a different light. They may harm you, but let's find something positive about them and focus on that, and bringing more positive awareness rather than the negative awareness. So,
and I think that's huge. Something we talked about last week is it is good and okay to set boundaries, because it's not loving to anyone for you to continually allow yourself to be hurt. It's not loving to you. It's not loving to whoever's hurting you to keep allowing them to do that. So boundaries, we're all for them. But there is healing that comes when we allow our perspective to go from all the way negative. This is the worst person in the world. If you always think of them that way, that's who they will be. But when we allow our perspective to shift more to the positive and start to see people how God sees them, as someone with dignity, someone who is worthy of love. In fact, someone who is worthy of Jesus dying for them. Man, that's a game changer. Come on. That is what we would encourage you guys with this week. thanks so much for hanging out with us. We would love to see you again right here next week. So let us know what you're up to, because we love hanging out with you.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.